Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this special East of England Tourism Awards webinar event. A few introductions before we make a start. I'm Gary Atfield. I'm one of the team that's organising the awards on behalf of Archant, and also our partners being Visit East of England, Visit England, our main sponsor, Host Seasons, and also the many other sponsors who help to contribute and fund the awards campaign itself. I'm also really pleased to say that I'm going to be joined this morning by Susie Pettican of Reflection PR. Susie's going to be guiding us through the application process and sharing some of her top tips for producing an award-winning entry. Morning, Susie.
Good morning, everybody.
Great to see you. And I'm also really pleased to say that we're joined by Greg Munford. Greg is the CEO of Richardson's Leisure Limited. Richardson's are a past winner of the Norfolk and Tourism Awards. And Greg's going to be sharing some of his views on why tourism businesses really should take the time to enter. Morning, Greg.
Morning, Gary. Good morning, everyone.
Good to see you. The session itself is being recorded. It will be made available on our awards website. And we think this session is probably going to take an hour or so. So let's make a start.
Has the slide changed?
Yeah, so first of all, we're just going to talk through what we'll cover this morning. The session is actually designed to be as interactive as possible to ensure that you get the most out of it. You'll also be able to pose any questions in the Q&A function. So do ask away, and we'll do our best to try and answer as many of those before the end of the session. We'll also be covering why businesses large and small enter the awards and what benefits they have received as a result. We will also talk about how the awards run and how they link into the National Visit England Awards for Excellence. We'll then go through the entry form, giving you all of the information you need to submit your best entry. And then finally, we'll share what happens next. And as I said, we will be sharing this deck and the recording at the end of the event. But if you wish, then please do make any notes as we go. So first off, why do businesses like you enter? The awards are really part of a journey which we believe is about being the best you can be. Simply by entering the awards, you will enjoy a great number of benefits. Everybody likes to win, but whether or not you achieve an award on the night, your business will be better as a result of taking part. By applying, you'll be turning a spotlight on your operation and shown how to look at it from a customer perspective. And by comparing yourself with your competitors, those businesses that are operating in the same field as you, you will challenge yourself to be better. And we believe at the end of the process, you will be well on your way to achieving excellence. And this will have a positive impact on your bottom line. There is no doubt that customers will pay a premium for a better experience. Your staff will be more motivated, settled, and committed, and your team will have a shared sense of pride and purpose, and you will all be working towards a common set of goals. Research suggests that nearly 3/4 of the entrants said that they enter to be able to provide a mark of quality assurance. This official endorsement and trusted logo gives potential customers another reason to book. You'll also increase your media coverage and PR opportunities. Becoming a finalist and then going on to win an award is a newsworthy story. It provides a great opportunity to generate media interest regionally. And if you go on further and you get national coverage, national winners will also have the benefit of being promoted through the Visit England's consumer communication channels. Winning helps you to stand out from your competitors, and being an award winner provides you with a unique selling point to promote your business. There will be up to 5 finalists for each category. The top 3 from each will automatically be put forward to the National Visit England Awards for Excellence. So by taking part, you can get a competitive advantage by being recognised by potential customers as not only being one of the best tourism businesses in the East of England, but also in the country. All entrants will receive free feedback on their entry to help them improve in future. And if you receive a visit, you will also receive a report on this, which will enable you to identify areas where improvements could be made and also find out areas in which you already excel. Competing against businesses in your area can also give you a benchmark and a tangible level of success to aim for. The process of applying for an award is a useful business management exercise. It will help you to step back, it will help you to reflect on your business, and it will help you to identify areas for future development. Winning gives a great cause for celebration, not only within your business, but also by networking with other like-minded people in your area at the awards ceremony. This can sometimes lead to new business partnerships. And if you go further in the competition, you can socialize with the best of the best from around the country at the prestigious Visit England Awards for Excellence event, all subject to government COVID-19 guidance and restrictions, of course. Importantly, an award winner can help you to attract high quality staff and to increase staff motivation and loyalty, as well as engendering a feeling of pride within those who you work with. It's also a great opportunity to reward your staff and recognize their contribution to the business. However, it's worth remembering that you will benefit greatly from the process of applying regardless of the outcome. We've got Greg Munford with us this morning. I mentioned Greg earlier. Greg, it's really great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Now, your business actually entered the 2020 competition in Norfolk and Suffolk, and Richardson's were a finalist in 2 categories and an overall winner in 1. Can I just ask you maybe to tell us a little bit more about why you entered in the first place?
Yeah, well, I think you've nicely explained, Gary, all the benefits to entering the awards, and almost stolen my thunder. But what I would say is, I think, I mean, we're lucky that we have these awards for our industry. I think it's sometimes tourism sector can be not taken as seriously as we might as businesses, and I think this gives us a chance as businesses to come together and sort of shine a spotlight on our sector. So I think from that perspective, it's really important that we get as many people and businesses involved in entering. I think the fact that we've expanded out now to the East of England, I think that's going to bring the awards more kudos. I think the badge, if you're lucky enough to become a finalist, you'll get a finalist logo. And then if you're lucky enough to become an eventual winner, again, that's really powerful for your marketing. And also, and you touched on, I think from a team perspective, I mean, we're lucky in our tourism businesses that we're getting 24-hour feedback from our customers. But I think it's nice to actually get some feedback and benchmarking on the business itself and the strategies that we've employed during the season. And I think the way that the award criteria is set out, actually, it's very useful, because the criteria is all the KPIs we should be measuring ourselves on as tourism businesses. So I think the fact that, when you get to if you're lucky enough to become a finalist, it's great motivation for the team. And I don't think you can take away the actual night itself. When you're you can book a table, you can bring more of your team along, have helped you get to the place that you've got to, and that filters down through the whole company. So it's a great motivational tool as well as being a great business tool.
That's great. Thanks, Greg. So what did you learn from the process, and how has that actually benefited your company?
Well, I think what we've learned is we've learned the things that we're doing well, and at the same time is we've learned the things that we could be doing better. It's great. It's actually once you've actually entered the award, and if you're then lucky enough to become a finalist, the judges that come out, they're always as much as prepared as you can be. They're always asking a question that you may not have asked yourself, and these little attention to detail and small margins are the things that make you stand out from your peers. So it's a very valuable. I think there is the point that we're very busy in business, and we think we're too busy to do something else. But actually, when you look at the criteria and look at what we're doing in our businesses anyway, the fact that this comes, the timing of this comes at the end of the summer season before we get into our autumn season. We must take time to reflect, monitor, and review. And I think this almost can focus your attention more.
Yeah, that's great. And just a final question for you, Greg. How was the award that you picked up last time helped to give your company a competitive edge?
Well, the great. I mean, the award that we won was for our team and our team initiative, and that's something we've been working really hard on from a performance perspective. A reward perspective, a well-being perspective. So actually, that was the first time I think that award criteria was set last year, and that was really, really helpful for us to make sure that we were doing all that we could do for our team members, because there's this thing in our business, who is the most important person in your business, the customer or your team? Well, it has to be the team, because they're the ones that are going to deliver the excellent customer delight.
Thanks, Greg. That's really great, and hopefully some of your responses there will help others to really understand the benefits of entering. And good luck again this year, Greg. I hope that we can encourage you to enter again this time.
Oh yeah, we will. We absolutely will be. And I think just a quick one on that is, I think once you've got into the swing of it, and Susie is going to share some great tips later on. I think it's important to enter as many categories as you can, because you've got to be in it to win it.
Fantastic. Well, you've teed that up rather nicely for us, because I think the next stage of this morning's presentation is actually to talk a little bit more about the process. And to help sort of explain this in a little bit more detail, I'm going to hand over to Stephanie Griffin, who's our regional competition organizer. Over to you, Steph.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So the annual award cycle begins with a series of local competitions such as ours, which will then, for the core categories, feed into the National Visit England Awards for Excellence. So under the Visit England framework, and due to our competition covering a larger geographical area comprising of multiple categories, we're able to forward our top 3 per category in the national competition, as Gary has mentioned, which means that businesses only have to complete a single application into the awards. And if you're part of those top 3 in the core categories, that original entry will then go forward to the national competition. So For our awards entry platform, we use an online system called Open Water for the entry procedure. You don't need to register just to access the details about the awards, but once you do access this site, you can sort of see the application forms, including the eligibility criteria as well. To enter, of course, you will need to create a login on the site, which you can find access to Open Water on our Tourism Awards website, which is www.tourismawards.co.uk. So the system is very user friendly and will be on hand to help at any time if you have any queries at all. You can save your entry as you go along, print it out should you wish to sort of share it with others. You don't need to do it all in one go, which really helps with using this system in being able to come back to your entry and add to it and make sure it's sort of the highest quality and got all of that information in there that you do want to submit to the judges. So there are some important things that will help to make you make full use of this system. So as I said, you will need to register and create a login so that you can save and submit your application. You are able to delegate the application to a colleague if needed. A second pair of eyes is always great. The system will strip out any form of any formatting attached to your data that you cut and paste across from another source. So you do need to just make note that if you are using cut and paste from a Word document, you're best to use Control-V rather than the paste option, just to ensure that it sort of keeps in the format that you would like it to submit under. Therefore, obviously, just double checking all of the formatting and especially any URL links that you include in your entry as well. The text boxes will cut out at the word limit. So obviously, please do try and keep to the word counts for each of the each part of the application process, which is listed as you go through. Anything with an asterisk is mandatory and the application will not submit until those fields are complete. Once the awards deadline has passed, you will not be able to access or amend your application. So please do keep the entry deadline of 3rd of October in mind to ensure that you're able to submit on time. And also just double checking, obviously, that your application has been submitted and it's not marked as incomplete on your login. As Greg also mentioned, there is no limit to the number of entries that you can submit. So you're able to enter into multiple categories, and also the awards are free to enter. So there's no cost with submitting your entry into the awards themselves. So the core categories that link with the Visit England Awards for Excellence are set by the Tourism Awards Steering Group, and they're reviewed annually to reflect the latest industry structure and market trends. So we've got the core categories this year, which are B&B and Guest House of the Year, Camping, Glamping and Holiday Park, and Self-Catering Accommodation of the Year, Experience of the Year, Large Hotel, Large Visitor Attraction, New Tourism Business Award, Pub of the Year, Self-Catering Accommodation of the Year, Small Hotel of the Year, Small Visitor Attraction, Taste of England Award. We then also have Ethical, Responsible and Sustainable Tourism Award, Resilience and Innovation, and Unsung Hero. On top of these, we do have 2 local categories, which are the Customer Excellence Award and the Marketing Campaign of the Year. If you are going to enter more than one of those categories, we would suggest that you're not just cutting and pasting the same responses for each of those entries, but ensuring that your answers are tailored and relevant to the category themselves. So if you run a small hotel with a restaurant and wanted to enter the small hotel and the Taste of England Award, you'd need to supply different information for each of those entries. Overall, just remember to save everything as you go along and click that submit button before the deadline. If you do obviously have any questions or queries at all, as I said throughout, you're able to get in touch with us through our awards website or at all.awards@archant.co.uk.
Fabulous. Thank you, Steph. That was great. So the next section that we'd like to go through this morning is to go through the detail of the actual entry form for this year's competition. And I'm really pleased to be able to hand over to Susie Pettican from Reflection PR, who's going to be talking through and sharing with you what makes a standout entry and some of her sort of tips for success. So over to you, Susie.
Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you for joining us, everybody. As Gary said, I'm going to be running through the essentials of the awards and then looking at some of the questions you'll be asked in the core categories, as well as some tips for general awards. Do ask us any questions as we go through this. It may be relevant to the slide that I'm talking about, or it could be any other question about the awards, just to make this more interactive for you. So as Steph has just ran through, all of the information is on Archant's awards website. So have a good look through the website before you start. For all of the entries, you must be directly involved in tourism, making a contribution to the visitor economy with a significant proportion of business generated by people visiting from outside the local area. Once you've ticked off that checklist, then you can select the category you'd like to apply for. As Steph said, there are 15 categories and you can enter into more than one category, but please do just read through the relevant criteria and tailor your answer to that. The judges are there winning you on, so make your award easy for the judges to mark. Read the question properly, and it may sound obvious, but do answer the question that you are being asked. The judges are going to mark your award on the relevant criteria and questions, so make sure you really do read the question properly. And if you have any questions about what categories you should enter, or you're unsure about any of the questions, and do please ask Steph and the awards team or myself, and we'd be happy to help. Okay, so setting the scene that the start of the entry form isn't scored, so you can relax a little bit during this section. However, there is a 120-word promotional description. This is really important to spend some time on crafting your answer to this, because if and when you are lucky in going through to visit England Awards or the East of England Awards, this will be used in the marketing collateral. So do take some time to sort of really make sure you explain what your business does and how you stand out. You can attach 3 images per award. Do make sure these images are high quality resolution and you've got permission of the person that you're using, so the copyright of the photographer. And I would suggest including an image that relates to the category you're entering. So for example, if you're entering the Customer Excellence Awards, see if you can get a good photograph of your team with your customers to really resonate with the judges. You then have background information where you have 250 words to explain to the judges more about your business. So this could be the length of time your business has been trading, the target market that you're looking to reach, and key milestones that your business has achieved. You then move on to the awards and accolades that you've achieved in the last 2 years. Don't worry if you don't have any awards to add to this section. This part isn't scored, but if you have, for example, TripAdvisor certification, Green Tourism Award, Chamber of Commerce or Business Awards, please do add details of those awards in here. You also may have been quality assessed, or you may have a mystery shopping report. So this is again where you can include information of those. So with every question, you have the opportunity to supply supporting evidence. This isn't compulsory, but I really do recommend that you add supporting evidence where possible. This means that you're backing up any claims. So if you're saying that you're the leading tourism company in your area, how and why are you? So include supporting evidence to back up your claims. Judges will already be reviewing your online platforms, which we'll go on to in a moment. So don't worry about including those, but illustrate things that can't be found elsewhere in your award. This just brings your award entry to life. You can also include website links, but again, if you'll already be supplying these in the online section, but perhaps you want to talk about behind the scenes things that your team have been doing, or any other interesting facts, and you may want to link to a hidden area of your website that the public can't see. So I do really recommend that you do that. And overall, just make sure that any supporting evidence you supply really supports the question and adds value. Don't try to lengthen the word count by putting in more information in there. I'm sure you wouldn't anyway, but just really make sure that any information you put there adds value to what the judges are going to be reading. Okay, so now we move on to the scored sections of the awards. This question makes up 30% of the final score, so it's really important to do this properly. So you're required to provide links to show how your company excels on review sites. So for example, you may be on TripAdvisor, or you may be on Booking.com. The judges want to see your website and see how fully accessible and responsive it is. And they want to see your social media platforms. So this could be your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter platforms. Don't worry if you've had some recent negative reviews from your customers. We do understand that this is the tourism industry and you'll always get a few of those. Be transparent and include those here. This year, judges will be looking for evidence of how you are reassuring your customers within your online presence as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, for example, you may include a link to your COVID-19 risk assessment. You may include links to your website where you've put reassuring key messages for your customers, such as what happens in the event of cancelling a booking. You may be reassuring customers by how you have implemented extra cleaning processes. Include all this information here. And remember that all of these East of England awards, the finalists will go through to the Visit England Excellence Awards. This judging won't actually take place until I think May or June of next year. So all of the information reassuring customers about COVID should be left on your website in case the judges will be looking at this next year. So hopefully we'll be moving into more positive and less restrictions, but please do leave that information available for the national judges. And you've just got there the digital marketing toolkit as a side note. If you go onto the Visit England website, you can actually download that toolkit, which will give you tips and tricks on how to improve your online presence. Okay, so now we look at your top quality. So this is your opportunity to tell the judges what your wow factor is, how your organisation delivers memorable experiences to your customers. This section makes up about 20% of the score, so you really want to be telling the judges how you are the best of the best across the east of England. Why is your business better than your competitors? And what do your customers say about you? The best endorsement is your customers. So if you've got social media content from your customers saying that you're the best, I would really encourage you to be including that in your award entry and in your supporting information. You may have undertaken innovative marketing and PR campaigns, so this is the area to talk about it. So for example, you may have invited a national journalist to your tourist attraction or to your hotel, and they've written a positive review about you, so include that information in this area or in the supporting information. And particularly over the last 18 months, you've all faced a challenging time. So your business may well have had to diversify or really proved resilient during this time. So the judges want to read about that in your award entries this year. And actually, there is a brand new category this year called Resilience and Innovation. So this is particularly for those businesses which their main offering has been largely closed since April 2021. So if that applies to you, I really recommend you look at that category and enter that particular one. Okay, and now we go on to your recent improvements. So the judges are looking to see how you've made improvements and developments, however big and small, in your business. And this will be up to 5 ways, and it's improvements that have taken place over the last 2 years. So it may be that you have committed to reinvesting back into the business, so include percentages there about what you've done. You may have made accessibility improvements, but to increase your target audience, and you may have undertaken sustainable initiatives, so please do tell the judges. You may have launched a new website or launched new promotional initiatives, and you could have improved the skills of your team. So do tell us there. And the results section of the form. So this is your chance to tell your story to the judges in an engaging way. And you can talk about 3 successes from the last year. Journalists and judges love statistics. So again, if you're making a claim, back it up with statistical information. So for example, if you've improved your customer satisfaction within the last year, then tell us what your levels were before and what your levels were afterwards, and work that out as a percentage. And the same goes for an increase in online bookings, business generated from marketing activity. Tell us about what you undertook for your marketing, what your targets were, and what your outcomes were. And I think particularly important in this category is social media, especially for those businesses that unfortunately had to close. How have you grown your social media following, and more importantly, how have you engaged with your customers? And linking back to one of the previous questions about how you've reassured your customers throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. But mostly the judges want to see how significant the impact has been on your business. So talk about what you've done, but how this has impacted on your business. Okay, so we've talked about where your business is and where it has been, and now in the future plans, the judges want to see how you are going to be developing and promoting your business over the next year. So this could be that you're upgrading your facilities, you are enhancing your services as a result of customer feedback that you've had. You could be looking at improving the skills of your team, and you could be looking to launch new marketing and PR initiatives and working with local partners to strengthen your offer. Judges are looking for how the business will continue to evolve, because a truly outstanding business never stands still. So this is your chance to really shine here. Okay, so now we'll go over some more general top tips. So as I said previously, the judges want to read, you know, the wow factor of your business, but do use facts. Don't make inaccurate claims. Make sure that you can back everything up. Tell your story in a succinct way. You've got a generous word count. I think it's just under 2,000 words for most of the awards. I think a couple of them are 500 words. So you have got a lot of space there, but do tell your story in a succinct way. Make sure every sentence is meaningful and the information is very clear. Don't duplicate from previous questions. You've got to remember that the judges are going to be looking at hundreds of award entries. So don't tell them the same information twice, but make sure all the information you provide is relevant to the particular question. And support your answers with evidence. So I think customer and team testimonials really bring award entries to life, and also video content will really help you to sort of visually demonstrate to the judges what your business is all about. So I do recommend that you include some video content if you have that available. Okay, so just to recap, when going through your awards entry, make sure that you're highlighting why you're different to your competitors and why you're the best in your region. State the best qualities and initiatives, and you know, you're all passionate about what you do in this industry, so make sure that really shines through and your personality shines through. Add some sparkle in there. Again, judges have a lot of awards to read, so make sure it's really clear and interesting for them. Embrace the review sites because they can really be invaluable and help your business, and show the judges, as I said, how you've acted on customer feedback, and also that there may have been mistakes that have been made. Tell us about that, and also explain how you've acted upon that. So finally, you've written your award and you're ready to hit the button. I really recommend reading through the form twice, leaving it for a little while, reading it with a fresh pair of eyes, as I say. Better still, give it to somebody else to read, and they can proofread and provide some advice on how to sort of tighten up sentences or what extra information may be required. Submit on time. You've got 2 weeks, I think, to the award deadline. So there's plenty of time to enter, and I wish you all good luck. This is, you know, really exciting opportunity. For the first time, the East of England Awards will be put through to the nationals, so our regions will be put on the map. So I do wish you all well, and as I said, if you need any help with the awards process, please do get in touch with me and Seth.
Thanks, Susie. That was great. We've had a couple of questions come through actually. The first one actually is what are the categories, please? I know, Steph, that we touched on this in your section, but would you be able just to go back through each of the categories once more for us, please?
Yes, of course I can. Bear with me 1 second. So we've got the B&B Guest House of the Year, the Camping, Glamping, Holiday Park and Self-Catering Accommodation, Experience of the Year, Large Hotel of the Year, Large Visitor Attraction, New Tourism Business Award, Pub of the Year, Small Hotel of the Year, Small Visitor Attraction, Taste of East of England Awards, Ethical, Responsible and Sustainable Tourism Award, Resilience and Innovation Award, and Unsung Hero. Now we have got a category page on our awards website which details each of those categories and gives an overview of what the judges will be looking for. And at that point, you're able to sort of click through and find more in-depth information around the eligibility criteria, what the judges will look for in those sort of categories as well.
Thanks, Steph. That's great. And Susie, I think I've got one here for you actually, if you wouldn't mind. Do you think it would be better to consider entering into the New Tourism Business of the Year category or the Small Visitor Attraction of the Year category?
I think it would be enter both as long as you meet the criteria, so have a good read through of the criteria, but as Greg said, you've got to be in it to win it. So as long as you meet all the criteria and you can provide good strong answers and good supporting evidence, then I think it would be good to go for both of them.
Brilliant, great advice. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Steph. Okay, so we'll just walk through the timetable now. As you can see, the deadline for the awards submissions is Sunday, the 3rd of October. So that's the date that we need your entries submitted through the awards website. And as you can see, judging will then start from the 11th of October and complete in early December, the 2nd of December. Our intention is to announce our East of England finalists, but not what they've won, in mid-January. And you can see that our awards ceremony will take place on the 24th of February at the Imperial War Museum, Duxford. Fantastic venue, really looking forward to that. And as I said earlier in the presentation, the top 3 in each of the core categories will then proceed to the national competition, which will take place in June 2022. So, I've just had a question pop in. Just let's just have a look at that. One moment. Okay, yeah. So, Steph, thank you for running through those categories, and I think that you've touched on the point that there'll be more detail on those category descriptions and what's required by way of entry on the awards website. Thank you. Good. If there are any further questions that follow the presentation this morning, then please, by all means, just drop us an email on the email address shown on the screen. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, the slide deck that we've used for this morning's presentation will also be available on the awards website. For now, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. Just to say thank you to my colleagues and also to our guests. Thank you, Susie, and thank you, Greg. Greatly appreciate your time this morning and your experience of these award programs. So I just hope to see some of you at the awards event in February, if not before. But once again, thanks for joining us and have a great day.